Yo, 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 what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, it is that time of the month again. We're coming to the end of the month, right before the newest Legend release. So we're going to be doing a another Legends tier list, the March Legends tier list of 2021. So, before I begin, I do want to touch on the fact that this is just my personal tier list. None of this is like lore or anything like that. Just my experience of being using these Legends in the game. Who's good, who's not, who you want to level up, and who you don't. So before we continue, the way that I sort of rank characters on this tier list is, first of all, I like to include power, speed, but the big one for me is reliability. Now, it's awesome that a character can clear content like consistently. Basically, every character can, but when it comes to characters that are more powerful than others, that can clear content faster than others, but can still do it very reliably, even if you make mistakes, that is going to come into consideration as well. So I have broken the tier list into S Captain, S Sub, which are fairly similar in terms of usability, I guess. So usability and reliability are like the biggest thing for me. Like, how much do you want to use the unit? And how well does the unit go on the team, even if they're not boosted by any means, if they've got a good special or a good captain ability, they've got a good sailor support, anything like that. So, like I said, I've broken it down into S Captain and S Sub. They are the top, the pinnacle, but some S Captains may fit the S Sub category. But if you're in the S Captain, it means that you are automatically, obviously, in the S tier sub. But if you're in the S tier sub, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily in the S tier captain. Same with the A Captain, A Sub, B Captain, B Sub, and then support. Support I wanted to include just to make like note that there are some legends in the game that are very, very good, but only used as supports. So that way they can still make this list and not sort of just get culled. Now, something I wanted to do from my last previous tier list was just be a little bit more ruthless when it comes to characters. We will still touch on most characters, but I just really want to be, I guess, as ruthless as possible, so this tier list isn't the size of a wall, I guess. So, I'm going to quickly take off these quickly, and we're going to make our way over to the tier list. And I basically removed all of the characters that have super evolutions and sort of don't fit the list. So, first of all, we'll start with Lucy. Honestly, V1 like Lucy, like non-6 plus, can actually go into B sub. He's a 2-turn attack booster if you hit perfects. He can still be used, especially because he's a 2x attack boost. The big upside to him is he can get around stuff like attack buffs, and he can obviously get around like the limited special mechanics. So, Legend Lucy is still very, very good. V1, or Un6 plus Judge, I'm going to put in the same category, B sub. Bind removal or boost, he can still be used. For a variety of different content. I have actually used both these units previously clearing content, and they can do a pretty good job. Dofi you can still use, but with normal attacks only and getting around that, he's too slow, so we're going to take him off. Robin, she's very, very niche, unfortunately. If you do need that like damage reduction, she can be used, but like I said, very rarely we ever use that. Luffy and Ace completely replaces Free Spirit Captains. V2 Shanks. I'm going to put in A tier sub. V2 Shanks is still very, very good for stuff like Kazuna. You can slap him on any monocolor team, and he can be the designated attack booster, or manipulation, and chain buff. Very, very good unit. Not much else to say about that. V2 Akainu. V2 Akainu, I actually kind of want to put in A tier captain, especially with these Limit Break Plus. That end of turn damage can still be used to get around stuff like Resilience. He's still a very... would I say captain? I don't know, I feel like I use him more as a sub, so we'll put him as sub. A 2.25 times Orb Boost for Int is still very, very good. I don't think I can put him in A tier captain, actually, because of some of the other units that I have in my mind that are going to go in that A tier captain. V2 kind of just not that good, but, I mean, there is still times when you can use him as a captain, but there's just better ways around the content, I guess, so... V2 Aokiji is in the exact same boat. Again, amazing special, Orb Manipulation, 2.25 times attack boost, works great on a Shanks crew team. These two admirals right here, these guys, Akainu and Aokiji, they're basically going to stay together pretty much the entire way through every single tier list. Original Gear Force Snake Man, never use him anymore. Katakuri, look, I want to put him in B tier captain. I really do, but just, nah, you never use him anymore. These two Sanji can get out of here. Garp. Garp is honestly, like, borderline S tier sub. I'm going to put him in A tier sub though, mainly because I don't use him that often, but he gets around a lot of special bind, he has special bind removal, And he has a chain lock. But honestly, I normally use this guy mainly as a support. But you can't deny how good his special is and the things you can do with it. So I do want to put him in A tier sub. Kung Fu Luffy, I'm going to put in B tier sub. Threshold, Rainbow Attack Booster, adjacent and matching orbs. What's not to like? So next we've got Wako. Wako, I'm going to put in B tier captain. Wako can still clear content very, very easily. You can hybrid this guy up with a lot of very good options. He works really, really well with actually V4 lore, Halloween lore. If you're missing Halloween lore and you have this guy, you can easily make a hybrid in team, and it works actually very, very well. Shiki, nope. Brook, I want to put in BT sub actually. I'm not going to deny what Brook can do as a captain. His revive mechanic, he can get around 0 stamina events very, very easy. I'm not going to deny that. But when it comes to power, speed, and usability, as a captain, nah. Like, I think I did use Brook once in the last sort of month and a bit, purely to beat the Black Blade, just to cheese it with Kaido, but other than that, he's only used as a sub, making every orb matching for multiple turns to get around that debuff as well. He heals, and he can just blow away enemies. So, he's fairly decent. He works great on a Hawkins team, actually. Not that many people run Hawkins, but it is what it is. Zephyr, no. Carrot, I'm gonna put Carrot in a BT captain. Carrot's still very, very good. She has been replaced, but like it's still, you can't deny like what she can do. And as a hybrid captain, she can work very, very well just to get through barriers and stuff like that. Obviously, she suffers in long content, but she still has a very good special as well. Makes matching orbs, gives you an orb buff, and she can become captain as well, which can be very, very helpful if you are doing quests that sort of struggle with that sort of stuff. V2 Katakuri, I'm not even going to put him on the list. I don't like using V2 Katakuri at all, to be honest, man. Like, not at all. Bardo Cavendish. Honestly, Bardo Cavendish have an S tier switch ability. Downside to them is they are a driven booster. Now, on Japan, I would easily put them on an S tier sub. But for global, like, I just don't really use this unit too much. And if I do, I'm only using them for their switch ability, which is healing and an orb boost on themselves. Their special is and damage reduction. Their special is very, very good at threshold cut and stuff like that, but I'm just talking about usability mainly on this tier list, and I don't use them too often. You definitely can use them, but there's just a lot of other options I'd rather run. Jack, I'm going to put in BT captain purely because he's an XP booster. He's Rainbow 3 times attack. He's not very good as a captain, but just the XP, he has to find a place on this list. This Sabo, actually, honestly, I want to put in, A tier sub. The main reason I want to do that is because he's an orb booster and he's a chain lock, and he has a very, very good sailor ability. I actually used him recently on a Luffy Sanji team. He works amazing with Luffy Sanji because he boosts fighter and shooters and free spirits orb effects by 2.25, and he's a 3 times chain lock. He also makes recovery orbs matching, so you don't have to worry about their switch ability for those types as well. He's very, very good. You could probably argue that he would go down here possibly, but for what he does in one special, I'd say A tier sub is very, very good. Jumanji definitely A tier captain. Powerhouse, they're never not going to be top tier ever, basically. They've got a great switch ability, they've got a great captain ability. Most of the time, honestly, though, I use them as a sub on a powerhouse team. And when I do, honestly, I'd make them an S tier sub. But I don't really run powerhouse that often, and you can honestly run them as a very, very good captain. They're definitely not S tier captain, but argument for S tier sub, if we're just talking powerhouse, is definitely on the cards. But as a captain, they're very, very good. The downside to them is they're a dual unit, obviously, though. Cracker, definitely an A tier sub. Not much else to say about Cracker. He's very similar to V3 lore for you newer players. He has 2 effects. He's a chain boost 1.1. He has orb manipulation through block, bomb, G, all those types of orbs. And he's color affinity for 2 turns, actually. So, very, very good. Unfortunately, he's sort of been replaced with this week generals, but he is still very, very good. Mihawk, no. Zoro, no. Laffy's definitely going S tier sub. Now, I think Laffy's very controversial. Lots of people still have him as S tier captain, or people like to put him as A tier captain, but I like to use him as a sub. His switch ability is still very, very good for fodder stages. He's a rainbow 2.5 times orb boost, and he can give himself a matching orb pretty much all the time with his switch ability. Luffy and Law can use very good supports. There's not much else to say about Luffy and Sanji. Big Mom, V2 Big Mom, honestly, kind of want to put in S tier sub. Like, oops, did not mean to do that. I kind of want to put her. Why is that happening? Oh my gosh, this is not going well. This is not going well at all. I kind of want to put her in an S tier sub. Her switch ability, incredible for fodder stage, is very similar to Laffy, 3.5 times all chain lock, and basically the only unit that can give you the base stat boost on your entire team. Very, very good for Kizuna. Very, very good, obviously, on mono int teams. Yeah, I feel like she has to go in S tier sub. She's way better than all these other units. She's just kind of, sorry, in the A sub, she just kind of doesn't see that much play as, like, there's other characters that can kind of do what she does and utility to get around the content. Sabo Koala, there is no doubt that they are not an S tier sub. They're only character that can get around all of the negative orb debuff. Their switch ability getting 1.5 times color affinity, 2.25 attack, and orb manipulation. They're very, very good. Neko and Inu, I'd probably put them as a B tier sub, mainly because of their switch ability removing paralysis is the big one. But if you are running Cerebral Strikers, they have a 2-turn special, very similar to this Sabo, like, or this Lucy. So, if Lucy's going to be on the B tier sub, I have to include them on the B tier sub. Vivi Rebecca, not even a question. Everybody knows that this is an S tier sub. Switch ability is incredible, amazing special. There's not much to say else about them. If you've got them, limit break plus them. They are exceptional. Shirashari, definitely an A tier sub. Shirashari's great at actually on a V4 lore team as well. The healing, getting rainbow orbs and getting around those types of mechanics is very, very good. As well as basically just removing 10 turns of any debuff in the game. Normal attacks only, especially when using Halloween lore. This is very, very good. Honestly, very, very good. Luffy, Stampede Luffy, definitely an A tier captain. Any captain that has utility is always going to be at least A tier. 10 turns of paralysis, 10 turns of despair removal in one character is nuts. His special is very self-sufficient, but you can clear a lot of content with him as a leader. He's got a very good captain ability, 4.75 I think for himself. 4 times 4, 3 different colors. Exceptional unit. This Whitebeard is definitely an A tier captain. Very similar to Jumanji, actually. I'd probably put him on par with Jumanji. With Powerhouse and Strikers, but the problem with this guy here is if you have Kaido, you are never using this guy as a captain. Ever. Where I like to use this guy is as a support. He has, on Ace, he has, what's it called? Despair removal. 3 turns of despair removal. Just despair removal. Which is very, very good. And him as a support is actually, like, low-key, like, really, really, really strong. So, you can't deny what he can do as a captain up to 4.5. So, that's why I do want to put him up here in A tier captain. But, like, with Kaido, like, it's very rare you use this guy. And if you do, you're probably only using him as a hybrid. Or you're using him as a sub on the team. That actually brings me to Kaido. Kaido is an A tier captain. I would put Kaido in S tier. When Kaido can operate in the way he operates, he is definitely an S tier captain. No doubt about it. Problem with Kaido, especially running 2 Kaidos, if there is normal attacks only, he suffers. Like, he suffers significantly. He's only got a HP cut for his special. All his end of turn damage gets negated, and basically he provides nothing else besides a 4 times captain for his team. So, that's why he has to go in A tier captain. If there was a way around normal attacks only with Kaido, then he would be S tier. I have, like, no doubt about that. But he does struggle there as his special doesn't provide too much else. Halloween Ace. Halloween Ace is definitely an A tier captain, very similar to Stampede Luffy. Him and Stampede Luffy, I'd probably say, are pretty equal in terms of, like, what they can actually do. I hate trying to move characters around on this tier list. It does my head in. The fact that he can remove 10 turns of Special Bind and Special Reverse is very, very good. 2.5 times attack boost to 2 classes. Unfortunately, the classes are kind of crap, but he's still very, very good. And he has to make this list somewhere as he has an amazing support. 3 turns of Bind, very similar to the Whitebeard in their supports. These two are actually gods if you, like, need their support, and you can actually if you can actually get them on a team and just remove 3 turns with sockets is 6, like, it just helps out with team building so much. But again, as I mentioned with Whitebeard, you can't deny what they can do as captains, so definitely have to stay up here in the A tier captain. Onami can go into B tier sub. If you can get her damage proc off, she's very, very good for her conditional, but the big thing I like to use her for, and I'm actually going to put her, is support, because that's where I use her mostly. Like, honestly, she doesn't really see too much play besides as a support, mainly because, like, defense down immunity is so prevalent that it just, honestly, it doesn't even, like, it barely sees play anymore. Like, it's not something you're looking for on your team. Even in Kizuna, like, it's very rare you can get that off. But setting the defense to 0 for long content like Revolutionary Army 2, Dofi 2 can work very, very well. So, in terms of usability, you are mainly going to see her as a support. mainly going to see her as support. She does have a heal mechanic too, which is very good, but again, she sort of just struggles there. Her 6+ is amazing though. Once her 6+ up comes up, she'll be moving up. Komurasaki is definitely an A tier captain. This chick is definitely underrated. Very, very underrated. 4 times captain to 2 colors, damage reduction, healing, amazing special, 2 times attack, and also those colors, orb manipulation, and provides a matching orb. She flies under the radar like crazy when it comes to quick. She also doubles barely. I actually forgot I always forget about that. She flies under the radar very, very easily. So she needs to get a bit of recognition as she is very, very good. Chopper is an S tier sub. He just removes 5 turns of basically everything in the game. Like, it's simple as that. 3 turns of auto heal. There's not much else to talk about when it comes to Chopper. He's probably an A tier captain as well. 3.5 times rainbow, gets double cotton candy drops. You guys know how amazing he is. Luffy, Tara, Zoro, Jiro, I am going to put in S tier sub, and that might be a little bit controversial, but their switchability is very, very underrated. It is very, very similar to Luffy Sanji, but in my opinion, it's actually a little bit better because it removes slot bind. Slot bind is so hard to get around. That's basically what Shirashiri does as well. They remove slot bind as well with their switchability, and special bind too, which is great. But Luffy, Tara, Zoro, Jiro with the Wano orb mechanic as leader can obviously suffer because they're a dual unit, but as a sub, they are so damn good for long content like forests. It's a Luffy and a Zoro unit, so you can use amazing subs. They are very, very good. And their orb boost, if you can proc the 2.75, that's huge. That's massive. Mask is going S tier sub as well. He's special to get a 2.5 times attack boost is so crazy. Orb manipulation, which is great as well. Not much else to say about Mask. He's a Sanji unit, so he can use every support in the damn game. So not much else to say there. Nami and Robin, I'm going to put in B tier captain. They can be used, but they're not super great. Pudding I'm going to put in A tier sub. Normally I would put her in S tier sub because she can just do what a lot of other characters cannot do, but look, it's Pudding. She really only provides orb manipulation, but she can get around the proccing of a specific debuff or buff. So if you have a enemy that procs attack buff, but you've stockpiled an attack, she can easily get around that. She's fairly good, but it's very rare that I actually use her. So she's going into A tier sub. I have been using, obviously she was great for Kazuna with the special roll forward, and she's great for speed teams, but other than that, she doesn't see too much play. Arlong Crew can be a B tier sub for sure. Rainbow attack booster, which is great. Switchability is kind of useful, but again, another character that you just don't see all that much play for. Shanks Crew, S tier captain. Honestly, there's not much else I can say about this character. He's amazing. Switchability is great. Damage reduction, end of turn damage. He literally does everything. My favorite unit in the game. I'm not going to ramble on about him because he is that freaking good. Mihawk Perona can go into S tier sub. Their switchability is amazing. Obviously, giving negative effects that can actually go through immunity as long as there are 2 or more enemies, and then being a 2 times conditional boost and orb manipulation as well as HP cutting. They're very, very good, and they've got cerebral driven, cerebral slasher tags, so they can be used on a lot of teams, and they work great in long content. V3 Rayleigh, I'm actually going to put him in B tier sub. I have actually been using V3 Rayleigh quite a bit recently, and he can just for Colosseums and garbage challenge like the Enel and stuff. He can just blow away a stage, very easily, and it's kind of cool. He's not perfect, but I think he's going to age quite well. I think he will age quite well. V3 Kuzan, I'm going to be putting in A tier sub. 2.25 times orb for 3 colors, color affinity for those 3 colors. Very, very good special. Captain ability, sort of lackluster, but special. Very, very good. V2 Snake Man, you guys know how amazing V2 Snake Man is. Just rainbow 5 or strength 5 times captain, amazing super typing, 2.5 times orbs, and a 2 times attack in 1 character is crazy. Super type Sabo, however, not the case. B tier sub. Honestly, no, I can't. He's basically been replaced by the Sweet Generals, but I can't just remove him because he's still a 2 times color affinity to a very, very strong color. There's just so many better Sabos that I'd rather use. I would much rather bring Sabo Koala on the same team and just cop the 1.5 and then have a better special, straight up. So, B tier sub for me. He's a super type. He's got to go on the list somewhere, I guess. Katakuri, A tier captain. 5 times multiplied ints. Only way to get around delay conditional. Easily, I should say. The downside is he is mono int, and the threshold stuff is very, very annoying. But with the 6+ of Beach, which we will talk about later, he does get very, very good. Blackbeard kind of in the same boat, 5 times captain for himself. I think it's like 4.5 times otherwise for everything else. He can just blow away stages though. Like Kazuna, very, very good unit. Amazing unit actually. But other than that, he doesn't see too much play. Same as Kid. Kid's got an incredible captain ability. The big downside to Kid is his Dex. And Dex sucks, straight up. Most of the time when you're running Dex, you are going to be running Kaido. Like, to be honest, you're going to find a way to make it like a powerhouse striker team that's got to do with Dex. Because you can just do it easier. If you're running hard content, you're very rarely running mono Dex, straight up. Hawkins, look, I'll put Hawkins in B tier sub. I do think Hawkins is pretty trash, to be honest. And I know I'm trying to be ruthless, but you can't deny what Hawkins can do with his tap timing. But you know what? Nah. Nah. What the? Can you just go away, Hawkins? I'm trying to... Why can't I delete Hawkins? Okay, there he is. He's gone. Nah, I'm going to get rid of him. Just don't even worry about him, to be honest. If I'm deleting V2 Katakuri from the list, I'm deleting him. You can't deny what they can do when there are no normal attacks only, but they're long, they're stally, they rely on healing over and over again, and it's not a fun time. Akainu, S tier sub. 2.25 times attack boost to 3 different colors, as well as the damage down, like the delay condition as well. Very similar to this Nami, actually, like what he can do, but he's just way better at it because he provides an attack boost as well. V3 Law, S tier captain. He is a tank god. Now, I know I was just talking about Healy captains and tanking and like doing damage that way, but he can output a lot of damage at a up to 4.5 times captain if you are at full HP. He has healing. He has damage reduction. There's not much else to say about V3 Law. If you partner him up with Roger too, like you can just do some silly things. If not S tier captain, he's definitely an S tier sub. He's very, very good. Very similar to Sober Mask. Very, very good. Smoker, honestly, I'm getting rid of Smoker. Smoker just sucks, to be honest. Like, to be honest. Actually, you know what? I'm getting rid of Sabo too. If I'm being ruthless, we're getting rid of Sabo. Next is Sugar. Sugar, I'm going to drop down into an S... Wait, where'd she go? Did I accidentally just delete Sugar? I think I might have. Alright, I think I might have accidentally deleted Sugar. Now, she's probably on the list. I did this last time, and she's probably, like, hiding somewhere on this list. But I can't seem to see her. Sugar would be an S tier sub. I normally had her an S tier captain, but unfortunately, as a captain, she gets very finicky. Her super typing is good, but only when you've got bears. As a sub, she's great at getting around barriers and stuff like that. Like burn, stun, all that sort of stuff. So I would put her in S tier sub. Unfortunately, she has dropped off. She hasn't aged as well as I would have liked. So, look, it is what it is. V3 Boa. I'm actually going to put V3 Boa in S tier captain. I've always had her in A tier captain, but like her super typing has to be the best super typing in the game. Like, no clap. Like, full orb manipulation through block orbs and an attack booster for a mono Psy team. The main reason I've got her in S tier captain, actually, is because Psy is just so crazy at the moment. Like, there are a lot of very good Psy units, and that includes rare recruits too. So, S tier captain for me, and if you get that Mera ability off as well, man, you're laughing. Absolutely laughing. Odin, S tier captain as well. Most of the time, I'm using Odin as a sub, purely for Roger, but you can't deny what he can do as a captain, as a rainbow captain. He struggles with orbs a little bit, but I've definitely hybrided him up with Roger, and he's worked very, very well. While we're here talking about that, we're going to put Goldie Roger in S tier captain as well. There's not much else that needs to be said there. He's the king of the pirates, for crying out loud. He's always going to be an S tier captain. Like, there ain't anywhere else that he goes. The Halloween units. The Halloween units. This is a tricky one, to be honest. Out of the three, Law is definitely my favorite. But I do think Shanks is the best of the captains. Mainly because he's rainbow. The other two aren't. And that way you can actually use other like characters with him. But at the same time, it's like, well, if I'm running in, like, why? Like, why does it matter? It sort of just falls down to who you have on your account. But if you have access to every unit, you're never running like Shanks as hybrid. Let's be real. So, Shanks, honestly, I'm going to put in B tier sub. He's very similar to Rayleigh. Like, when you can actually get him off, he's going to be very, very good. He is on par with all of these captains, honestly. Like, but the thing is, right, like, if you have Mihawk and Law, you're never running him as a captain. Or, sorry, a B tier captain, not B tier sub. you're never running him as a captain because these two are just better, like, in having two. He works great as a hybrid, to be honest. So, like, he should be an A tier captain. But when it comes to usability, like, if you can't get color affinity off, like, or if you're not using color affinity, then he's special as just a chain boost, and then you're just sort of stuck there. When it comes to Mihawk and Law, though, I do think Law is the better of the two. But in terms of their super typings, Mihawk just does so much damage, man. Hybriding these two up as well, because they both have utility in their specials, Despair removal with Law and Paralysis with Mihawk, they have to go in A tier captain. It's not even a question. Very similar to these two here, the Halloween Ace and the Halloween Luffy. They sort of see similar stuff. Now, when it comes to captains, I do think these two, the Halloween Slashers, are way better than Blackhawk and Katakuri. Blackbeard and Katakuri. But they sort of operate in different ways, which is cool to have like 4 in captains that can like hybrid so well together. It's just really cool to see. The next 3 units I'm going to touch on at the end because they're the newer units, but we're going to go through this now. Whitebeard, besides Rumble's trash. Boa, trash. Sabo, trash. Usopp, I want to put in B tier sub because like he can get around delay immunity, but you never use it anymore besides Kazuna, so trash. This Gear 4 Luffy has an amazing support. Very, very good. Very good support. He makes like a bunch of colors matching, and he goes on the Straw Hats. V1 Rayleigh 6+, definitely an S tier sub, and at worst case scenario, he would go in the support section. He has one of the best supports in the game, removing, two turns of Paralysis, Despair, and Bind. But as a sub, removing 7 turns of the same thing, as well as having the Sailor abilities to remove cooldowns, as well as Int being like a very, very good color. This guy sees a lot of play. He is very, very good. He can also trigger Roger's super typing, which is amazing. Lucci, trash. Shanks, I guess you could maybe put in support because he can make a full board of orbs. It's not through block orbs though, so I do want to just get rid of him. This Kuzan can extend buffs, but no. Ace, no. Sengoku, no. Haughty, once upon a time, yes, but now no. This Mihawk, I guess you could probably put in B tier sub because he can like just blow away a stage. Plus he can trigger the super typing for Halloween Law if you are using Halloween Law as a friend. So because he can kind of do what no one else can do, like, yes, but at the same time he falls in the same category as Dofi, so no. This Zoro 2.5 times Chainlock on Mihawk, definitely a very good support. This Law can do a lot still, but I only ever use him as a support on Corazon. So he's going to go into the support section there. Croc, no. Barto, support 3 times Paralysis for Robin units, and I think he goes on Barto as well, which is very, very good. V1 Law, I'm going to put him in B tier sub just because he can do things that no one else can, where he can, very similar to this Rayleigh effect actually, where they just go through defensive effects. He's very good at just sort of cheesing stuff. I do think he's better than the Rayleigh, but yeah, it is what it is. Buggy, I guess we have to put up here in B tier captain. He has to be on the list somewhere. He duplicates treasure drops, but normally like you're not running him for anything else. Kizaru, no. Jinbei, S tier sub, removes 5 turns of damage reduction defense up, rotates fight orbs, and is immune to special rewind. The fact that he's immune to special rewind is the reason he's an S tier sub. Normally I'd have him in A tier sub because there's like rare recruits that do it better, but because he's immune to special reverse, definitely an S tier sub, no question about that. This Judge, honestly, nah, just never use him ever. I always use V1 Judge more, so he can go away. Corazon, definitely an S tier sub. I love this Corazon. Honestly, if you can afford it, Limit Break Key Corazon, because he goes under 12 turns of cooldown. He removes 3 turns of every debuff in the game. He has amazing healing. You slap this Law on him, and he's also a 1.75 times Orb booster. And then as a Sailor, he removes 1 turn of Paralysis and special, special seal. Very, very good. Magellan, definitely a B tier sub. If you can get the poison off, he's very, very good. And you can slap on conditionals to get the poison mechanic. But he also does healing. I think a lot of people forget the healing. So that's something to note there. Enel, no. This Sanji, in support, a 0.5 chain boost. Fairly decent. This Frankie, support, 1.4 times attack boost. And you can slap him on the Straw Hats if you do damage. Fairly decent support and kind of flies under the radar quite a lot. Once again, as well as this Cavendish, or Hakuba, I think his name is. 1.5 times attack to the quick unit that uses a special, gives them a matching orb, as well as a 1.5 times orb boost, and locks the orb. He works great on utility characters like Bobbins and stuff like that, because then Bobbins can just hit stupid hard at the end of the chain multiplier, and you can remove a bunch of defects, right? That's just a little example. Dogstorm, unless we're talking about PvP, no. Neko, only good as a support. 2 turns of attack down and bind removal on chopper units and Dogstorm units and stuff like that. Very, very good support. This Lucci, again, 1.5 times color affinity to shooters. Great support if you are doing that for whatever reason. This Boa, no. This Snake Man, definitely an A tier captain. This V1 Snake Man is still an absolute god tier of a unit. Like an absolute god tier. Worst case scenario, I'd have him in an A tier sub. And honestly, I'd probably use him as an A tier sub, but you just can't deny what he can still do as a captain. Like, it's wild what he can do. Making every orb matching, 3 turns of a chain boost, you can carry over an orb buff. He's very good. He's very, very good. Most of the time I use him as an A tier sub though, so we'll slap him an A tier sub, I guess. But he's still amazing, honestly. This Dofi, besides Pirate Rumble, I only ever use him as a support. Big Mom, no. Fuji, no. This Akainu as one of the best supports in the game. 1.5 times attack boost to strength units and a full border strength orbs. Very, very good. You could probably argue he's a B tier captain because he can be hybrided up with a lot of very good strength super types. So actually, I'll probably leave him in B tier captain. Actually, like he can do some cool things. Nami can go in B tier captain as well. She's very, very good for mono decks. The downside is that it's mono decks, but in the same sense, you can if you are struggling, you can hybrid her up with someone like Kid. Shirahoshi, I'd probably put as a B tier sub, mainly because Shirahoshi's is an A tier sub. Like Shirahoshi's just very niche. Like when she works, she works. When she doesn't, she doesn't. You know, like it's healing, rainbow orbs. Besides that, she doesn't do too much else. 6+ Bullet, definitely an S tier captain. The super effective against all types is honestly what makes him so damn strong. Besides the super effective against all types, like if you can't proc his condition, then unfortunately he does fall off. So normal attack onlys do make him struggle, but honestly he boosts 3 different colors that are very, very good. You can hybrid him up with a lot of very good strength super typings, and he works great for mono strength. 6+ Katakuri. Honestly, I want to put him as an A tier captain. You can hybrid this guy with a lot of in super typings. He has the built-in delay mechanic. He's one of the most fun captains in the game, to be honest. I don't personally use him too much because I don't really like that delay mechanic, but definitely cannot discredit what this man can do. Honestly, I'll probably put him in B tier captain because I don't think he's better than Halloween Shanks. Like, let's be real. Like Halloween Shanks would definitely be like here. Like definitely at the top of this list. Maybe with Wako as well. Wako would probably be up here. Or you could argue that he's like Halloween Shanks would be at the bottom of this list. Honestly, the Halloween Slashers probably should stay all together because when you use them all together, like they do work very, very well. I'm just trying to not be biased, but if I had to put Shanks anywhere, he'd probably be down the end here. But look, it is what it is, I guess. Actually, you know what? Let's put him in A tier sub. I think that's pretty fair because like I actually use him quite a bit as a sub on Roger and Odin Slasher teams. So that's probably fair. But in terms of captain, he's on par with Laura and Mihawk, but he just doesn't provide too much else as a captain to run 2 of them. Sorry, I got sidetracked. We were talking about Katakuri. I'll put Katakuri as a B tier captain, just because as an A tier captain, he's definitely not as strong as something like Blackbeard, I guess. 6+ Sabo, I guess A tier sub. There's very similar to the reason why Legend Lucy's still here. For the exact same reason, he just does it better, I guess. He gives special cooldown as well. There's not much else to say, to be honest. I've already said it with Lucy. This Robin, honestly, she's probably a B tier sub now just because Cerebral's so good. She still provides that negate damage defect, and she can give recovery orbs, which is actually really handy for the hunger debuff. So definitely a B tier sub. Same with Marco, B tier sub. I just realized that I had the wrong Whitebeard here, so let's delete that Whitebeard and let's bring this Whitebeard. Oh, that's not the right Whitebeard. This Whitebeard up here. Yeah, that looks better. Alright, let's just make sure he's done. Okay, well, I guess no, sweet, that'll do. Fuji, no, never using that Fuji. Again, I did the same thing with Garb. Where did I put Garb? There he is. Let's bring him back down here. Let's get rid of that Garb. And let's try and use... Jesus Christ. This has been so scuffed. What'd I have him? I had him in A tier sub, didn't I? Yeah, okay, cool. Rayleigh. Besides Pirate Rumble, like, Rayleigh doesn't see too much play, but I'm going to put him in B tier sub. Mainly because he's, like, he's a 2x orb booster and a 3x chain lock with orb manipulation. But other than that, he doesn't provide too much else. He just works great with On Roger. But in saying that, like, he really does not do that much else. Like low clap. 6 plus Jinbei, I guess you can use Jinbei, but no. As for all these other units, these are all Japan only units. So we are just going to sort of blitz our way through all of them before we get to here. Now, Kaido and Big Mom, I'm going to remove from this tier list. I know they come out tomorrow, or today actually, but we are just talking about the units that are out now. They will be included on the next tier list. So the tier list has already gone long enough, so I do want to try and start wrapping this up before we start talking to the main events. So if you did skip to this part, this is what the tier list looks like before we add the new units. So let's start with 6 plus Beej. 6 plus Beej, honestly, B tier sub, mainly because Driven is actually really, really strong, and you can easily do a lot of crazy stuff with Katakuri, Blackbeard, and this guy on the team. He obviously worked very, very well in this Kizuna we just had with the blowaway mechanic. The Big Father effect is still very, very strong and is very, very unique. Out of the next the three new units, we're going to talk about the Sweet Generals first. Sweet Generals, I feel like they are going to be an A tier sub. Now, you could definitely argue to me that they are an A tier captain, and I definitely cannot discredit that. They are a 5x captain that removes... Actually, no, I have to put them in A tier captain. They have... Nah, okay, I almost broke my own rule. They are going to go in A tier captain purely because they can remove Despair. If they couldn't remove Despair, they would be a sub. Now, the reason I'm going to put them in A tier captain, 10 turns of Despair removal as a captain is just so handy for, like, fiddly content that just sort of thrives on that debuff. And that's sort of the same sense as, Halloween Ace and Stampede Luffy. Now, out of the strength super typings, I do think they are the worst. Their super typing to proc is actually pretty tricky. The fact it doesn't state Big Mom Pirates, it actually says like Perispero, Alvins, like, to me that is so dumb. And they do like a good wave clear, I guess, and they roll specials forward, but that is literally all they do and make super types. Like, honestly, Odin's super typing sucks, and it is way better than the Sweet Generals. So as a leader, the only time I'm running them, and I mean, if I am running them, they're a hybrid. But as a sub, they are awesome. 2x attack, 2x color affinity, 1.1 times chain buff. They have literally made Sabo, super type Sabo, null and void. Like, easily made Sabo null and void. The only thing that Sabo has on top of them is that Sabo has a better super type. But Sabo falls in the same boat as, what's his name? As Shanks. In the sense that, like, well, you're literally not using him for anything else. Where Shanks, you can at least like slap him on a Roger team and still get the effectiveness of the 2x color affinity through through his special. So out of the three new units, I do think they are the worst. But I mean, if you are running mono red, like say for Dofi 1, they just work amazingly. I did actually use them to beat the Kid Forests with a hybrid Luffy Sanji. So they can complete content fairly well, but it's just like, it comes down to the question of, you know, like, why? Like, why would you use them when you couldn't have Bullet or Odin or Luffy or even V3 Akainu? Like, there is just better options. So the next unit that I do want to talk about is Germa. Germa, honestly, I want to put them in S tier subs so badly. Mainly because Sai is just so damn strong at the moment. And the reason I want to put them in S tier sub is when they become captain, if you are running mono Sai, like, look at the top here. It's just strength and Sai based. Like, 4 of the 7 units at the top here are Sai. The other 3 are strength, and then there's like 1 quick, I guess you could argue. But as a sub, yes, they only boost Sai characters, but like Sai has just so many options that it's not even funny. But the fact that they're super effective against all types is so much fun. So much fun. They have the captain swap mechanic, and they're the only character like Legend that's actually like decent at like using it. As well as then like getting around defects where like they blow away your captain or anything like that. Their super typing is amazing. The fact that you can use a super typing as a sub is a big reason why I want to put them here. S tier sub, I have so much fun with this unit. So much fun. The downside is you can't use stuff like the Liberal Hind And the downside is their orb boost is only for Psy. But because they're super effective against all types, it doesn't see that much of a hindrance. And then their chain multiplier is really, really good, as well as giving a full border orbs as well that they can make matching. So definitely S tier sub for me, personally. And after using them, I've had so much fun with them. For me, they are the most fun unit that has come out of the anniversary by far. Final unit we're going to talk about is Luffy and Sanji, and Luffy and Sanji are definitely an S tier captain. I know they're slow, I know they're stally, and I know they're boring, but they can do some stupid things. This character being in the game has made every other Rainbow captain so much better. So much better. I actually completed Kid Forest using Shanks as my captain and a friend Luffy Sanji. With the overheal mechanic, it is wild what you can do. Absolutely wild. They make long content look so damn easy. Not only can you get the overheal mechanic as a captain, you can actually get it as a sub with their special. When we get the V2 Christmas girls, Shira Sherry and Vivi Rebecca, like this character gets so much better with the guaranteed meat orb effect, as well as just that overheal mechanic. So I do understand they are definitely not as fun as someone like Roger. Like, if it was me, like my tier list in terms of my top units would look a little bit like this. Oh my god, Roger, can you go to the front? It would look a little bit like this in terms of my top 3. Roger, Luffy Sanji, then Shanks crew. Like, Luffy Sanji can literally do everything Roger can do, but without as much power and speed. But their reliability is just wild. And hybriding the two of them up together is just, you can do some wild things. And then slap Germa as a sub. It's nuts. It's the Germa and Luffy Sanji combo is very similar to the Roger and Odin combo. Just not on such a high level load, to be honest. So, Luffy Sanji is definitely an S tier captain. I don't see anywhere else that they could fall. And, yeah, that's that. So, that's going to conclude my tier list today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Bit of a long video for you guys, so I hope you guys buckled in for that one. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Obviously, this is all opinion-based from the characters that I like to use, characters that are out in the game. And like I said, I was being a little bit ruthless. You could argue that, like, Halloween Shanks and Super Type Sabo, they do very similar things, and they should be together. And Hawkins, you can clear every piece of content with Hawkins and Brook, and I get that. But for me, this is what I get the tier list kind of looks like in terms of who you want to look for, who you want to level up, to beat as much content as you possibly can. Now, if you do have any of these S tier captains, they should be your priority in terms of leveling up. But the S tier subs, as you guys can see, there is a lot of them. And they are all very, very good. So like I said, let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts and opinions are. If you guys want to create a tier list, shout out to the tier list. As always, I will leave the link in the description below. And once again, shout out to the OPTC database for the images provided. But most importantly, guys, if you didn't enjoy this one, consider going down there and belting that like button for me. If you're new to the channel as well, consider becoming a subscriber today. But guys, most importantly, wherever you are in this beautiful world, make sure to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, guys, I thank you for watching. And I will catch you all in the next one. Lights!